Today is known as Holysaturday. Jesus has died and he's entombed, and for no good reason really if the narrative has any truth to it. There's the fairly common view that this is the time that was apparently set aside for Jesus to descend into hell, also known as the harrowing of hell, where he went and shared the gospel with those of the righteous dead, or those who were held captive since the beginning. You can find these references in 1 Peter and Ephesians. In fact, let's actually take a look at 1 Peter 3:19 to 20 here, because it adds to the comical element of this entire story of the death, burial, and resurrection. After being made alive, he went and made proclamation to the imprisoned spirits, to those who were disobedient long ago when God waited patiently in the days of Noah while the ark was being built. NIV, by the way, there. But that's some classic Peter there. Another peculiarity, and additionally quite comical as it's known to be one of the first zombie outbreaks, is what we find in Matthew 27:52-53. This is just after Jesus has died on the cross, having released his spirit, according to verse 50. And 52, beginning with the end of 51 here. The earth shook, rocks split apart, and tombs opened. The bodies of many godly men and women who had died were raised from the dead. They left the cemetery after Jesus' resurrection, went into the holy city of Jerusalem, and appeared to many. Yeah. We never hear from these zombies again, or get any sort of background from any of them regarding what may be one of the most sought-after answers of all time. What's the afterlife like? I don't imagine they smelled too good, and did they go back to their abode, or were they now living a new life, new organs, same ailments? Well, who knows? It didn't seem important enough to make it into the other Gospels, as Matthew contains the only account of this, which most certainly would have attested to one of the greatest moments and miracles of the entire book. Same goes with Lazarus. It's exclusive to the book of John. No other mentions, and other than apparently dining with Jesus at some point after being resurrected, we have nothing else. Small tidbits such as these, backed without any evidence and only reinforced by mere fragments from ancient papyrus, purely reek of obvious mythology and further cement the lunacy of this entire narrative. But that being said, let's see what the renowned Christian author and pastor Max Lucado has to say about Holysaturday. Jesus is silent on Saturday. The women have anointed his body and placed it in Joseph's tomb. The cadaver of Christ is as mute as the stone which guards it. He spoke much on Friday. He will liberate the slaves of death on Sunday, but on Saturday Jesus is silent. So is God. He made himself heard on Friday. He tore the curtains of the temple, opened the graves of the dead, rocked the earth, blocked the sun of the sky, and sacrificed the Son of heaven. Earth heard much of God on Friday. Nothing on Saturday. Jesus is silent. God is silent. Saturday is silent. Easter weekend discussions tend to skip Saturday. Friday and Sunday get the press, the crucifixion and resurrection command our thoughts. But don't ignore Saturday. You have them too. Silent Saturdays. The day between the struggle and the solution, the question and the answer, the offered prayer and the answer thereof. Saturday's silence torments us. Is God angry? Did I disappoint him? God knows Jesus is in the tomb. Why doesn't he do something? Or in your case, God knows your career is in the tank. Your finances are in the pit. Your marriage is in a mess. Why doesn't he act? What are you supposed to do until he does? You do what Jesus did. Lie still. Stay silent. Trust God. Jesus died with this conviction. You will not abandon me to the grave, nor will you let your Holy One see decay. Acts 2:27. Jesus knew God would not leave him alone in that grave. You need to know God will not leave you alone with your struggles. His silence is not his absence. Inactivity is never apathy. Saturdays have their purpose. They let us feel the full force of God's strength. Had God raised Jesus 15 minutes after the death of his son, would we have appreciated the act? Were he to solve your problem the second they appear, would you appreciate his strength? For his reasons, God inserts a Saturday between our Fridays and Sundays. If today's one for you, be patient. As one who endured the silent Saturday wrote, "Be patient, brethren, until the coming of the Lord." But Jesus is not coming because there is no Jesus. Jesus, Yeshua, possibly historical, and one of many Yeshuas during that time period, died. Take care.